Two hostages have now been released from Gaza, we are told, through a well-placed Israeli source. Trey Yingst has that news for us. What do we know, Trey?
Yes, Andrew, good afternoon. This breaking right now. Two Israeli hostages that were being held by Hamas inside Gaza have been released, according to a well-placed Israeli source. Now, another regional source confirming this to Fox News, saying this was part of ongoing Qatari mediation efforts. We do know the two hostages' names. We're talking about Norit Itzhak, a 79-year-old, and Yocheved Lifshitz, an 85-year-old. Both of these elderly women are from the small kibbutz of Nir Oz, where we brought you that story earlier today. Many of this community pulled into Gaza, some of them slaughtered by these militants when they crossed into Israel on October 7th. We do understand 25% of the population of Nir Oz is missing or dead. This development does come after the two hostages were released last week, both of them American citizens, bringing the total number to 4 hostages released. The Israelis say still 220 people are being held inside Gaza. But again, the information we can bring to you right now, according to a well-placed Israeli source, is that 2 Israeli hostages were released from Gaza, and they're currently in the hands of the Red Cross. Sandra, Bill?
Trey, you have to imagine 2 weeks in custody at that age. That's got to be a very difficult 14, 15 days. Do we know about their health condition yet?
Absolutely. It has to be incredibly difficult having so many of these civilians inside Gaza with a lack of medical care and supplies. We don't know about their conditions. We do know the husband of Yocheved is currently still being held inside Gaza, and it gives you a sense of how families were taken into the Strip. And earlier today, we brought you that report about Chaim Peri, another elderly person from Nir Oz that was taken into Gaza. We don't have any updates on his situation, but we spoke with his son outside of Tel Aviv, and he spoke about the concern that these families have regarding their elderly parents. He said his father, for example, takes heart medicine that he needs to survive, and they have given a list of the medicine that these hostages take to the Red Cross in hopes that that list will be delivered to Hamas, but there's no indication they are giving these elderly people the medicine that they need. So certainly a glimmer of hope, the fact that the first 2 Israeli hostages have been released according to that well-placed source, but still 220 people still being held inside Gaza.
And reports now that the families have been notified. Trey, as this is happening, are we getting any further word yet on the timing of this possible Israeli ground invasion into Gaza? What do we know at this moment?
So we still know there are thousands of Israeli soldiers staging along the border with Gaza. We talked with some of them today. They remain in high spirits, but they are waiting for that call. The Israeli military says they have finished preparations to ultimately launch that ground invasion into Gaza. Still, when we talk to colonels in the Israeli army, they say this is not a matter of if, but rather when and what exactly it will look like, if there will be an element in the north as the situation in the south unfolds. But we do know part of the reason for the delay has to do with the negotiations behind the scenes to get as many hostages out as possible. And initially, there were conversations in Israeli media about only 4 nationals being allowed to leave if a deal was struck. But tonight, we get this information indicating that 2 Israeli citizens are among those released from Gaza. So it further illustrates that we have to be careful with this information. It's part of the reason we had indication this was going to be announced later today, and we waited on that information until we could confirm it not only with this well-placed Israeli source, but also with another regional source involved and close to the negotiations.
Coming up on 10 o'clock in the evening where you are, Trey, John Kirby earlier this hour. We watched the press conference in the White House. He said they've got to focus on Iran actively facilitating attacks. I don't know how busy the northern border was earlier today. Perhaps you can shed some light on that. And based on the sources that you have near Gaza within the IDF, the Israeli intelligence, how well or how difficult is it for them to track the location of hostages inside Gaza?
It's incredibly difficult to find the locations of the hostages inside Gaza. And remember, when they were initially taken into the Strip on October 7th, Hamas released a statement saying they were keeping the hostages in the tunnel network in an effort to tell the Israelis not to bomb the tunnels because there could be hostages inside them. But since then, we've gotten no information, and we've pressed the Israeli military and both Israeli intelligence sources and American intelligence sources about this exact issue, and they've not been able to provide any information on the location of where these people might be held.
Okay, all right, Trey, thanks. Trey Yingst with the words of age 79 and 85-year-old Israeli nationals are now free. Trey Yingst, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.